You consider yourself now primarily a comic or a producer or a politician?
I don't know.
Confused?
I'm very confused because I'm not performing that well.
In this video, we take you to an intimate interview between two towering figures of their time. Playboy founder Hugh Hefner and one half of the incendiary comedy duo Tommy Smothers, taped during the iconic show Playboy After Dark. As the camera rolls, you will witness Smothers at a crossroads, grappling with his identity as an entertainer, a provocateur, a risk-taker. Was this the interview that eventually took the Smothers Brothers down at CBS? We're not sure, but let's dive in and you can make your own conclusion. Smothers begins the conversation by revealing his struggle with his identity in the world of entertainment.
Now, you've been so actively involved in your show in the last season. You consider yourself now primarily a comic or a producer or a politician?
I don't know.
Confused?
I'm very confused because I'm not performing that well, and I'm not doing any of the things, all of the things I'm doing, like at half speed.
Tommy Smothers' statement about operating at half speed illustrates the pressures he was navigating as an entertainer and social critic. It underscores the often unseen personal struggles amidst the glamour and pressure of Hollywood.
Well, you must be doing a lot of things right, because the show's certainly very good.
Well, the show's more important than the stars of the show, really. And that's where it's gotten down to. Like, I don't know whether I'm a comic or a performer, and people talk to me, though, now, not as a performer, because I remember when I was really a performer, that's all I did. I had my fits, and I had prerogative as being a star type to do that. And now it's like, well, I wish they could turn that orchestra off, but they can't.
A question arises. Was Smothers considering stepping into political life, perhaps a run as a senator or governor?
Anyway,
Just a little background music.
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, but I'm having more fun doing it because there's more risk involved. And anything that's worthwhile doing is a certain amount of risk, like your show. Yourself, you've taken off on the show and have attacked all the subjects and have risked your entire professional career on your stand on your show.
Smothers then emphasises the value of taking risks, praising Hugh Hefner for doing so in his show. He believes that artists should use their media to push the envelope and address important issues.
Joan has done probably more than anyone because she's been involved in civil rights and been involved in anti-war and
Laid more on the line.
And really laid it on the line and not turning in the money for tax money because it goes to the military. There's other people who feel they're doing the same thing and are probably getting maybe the same elation out of it in a very smaller way. I feel as a performer, my obligation is to say what I think, and particularly if there's a need to be said, instead of going out and joining and giving $1,000 to the campaign for so-and-so or give to the Reese Davis Child Development Center, all valid things, is to take the media, which you're an artist in, and
work within it?
Work within it.
do.
Marlon Brando, remember a while back, was going to quit movies in March. And it didn't make much sense to me because it was kind of a cop-out because his strength is in his media where he reaches a lot of people, yet he hasn't done heavyweight movies that really lay the problem out, nor Danny Thomas, who has a lot of shows and had a lot of hours on the air. And a lot of these people, most people in the arts are liberal, progressive people who want change, and they're involved in a lot of benefits and giving of material things. But they don't give of their art because that jeopardizes their position to give the safe things.
This suggests an underlying belief in the power of media in affecting social and political change, a perspective that's relevant in our current, highly digital world.
Well, a great many of them do, though. I don't know.
I don't know of any. I'm very amazed that nobody takes, because it's very easy to say something on your in your media and on your particular show or whatever you have. And it's amazing how the blocks fall around because most of them are myths, the no's, when they say no.
At the same time, it seems to me that more people in show business and the arts are more actively involved in various social causes today than ever before.
They're involved in all these social causes, but you don't see it coming out on the screen.
On the individual shows?
Or on the only place that is done is music. Music is the only one who's done it.
Well, as you well know, perhaps better than most, there are a lot of built-in problems, working with the networks, etc., in terms of what's allowed and what isn't.
Syndication to me is like You have your problems of clearance. We have the problem on a network show of affiliates. And affiliates is more like a string of Christmas tree lights. You know, one goes out and you can blow the whole thing. A couple here and a couple there, and someone owns 5 stations during a syndication thing, and they don't like what you say, you're gone. On syndication, at least you can switch. You can switch programs, you can change subject matter. You have the freedom to say things is much greater in syndication. I wish I was on syndication.
Well,
you were
one of the
on
major
network.
reasons. Well, I'll give you an honest answer. That, you know, that's one of the major reasons that I wanted to do the show this way, because we could control what we were doing. Now, to take things to a somewhat lighter note, you were very actively involved in Pat Paulson's political career.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next President of the United States, Mr. Patrick Layton Paulson.
Smothers' comments on Pat Paulson's mock presidential campaign highlight an appreciation for satire as a tool to critique and expose political theatrics. The suggestion here is that humour, when combined with political commentary, can lead to meaningful conversations about the state of politics.
Are you happy or unhappy with the results of the recent presidential election?
We're very happy. Well, the results I'm not happy with. Not particularly unhappy, because it doesn't really make much difference, I don't think. Pat Paulson, what he did was a service as far as satirizing and showing the BS involved in politicians. You got whacked on the rump. And,
Yes.
Up there in Chicago.
I got involved.
But a lot of people hit me on the right after the election. Pat's final statement was he cried, and he says, "Don't think about me as a politician trying to lead the country." And he says, "Don't be swayed by emotional appeals." And this was on Sunday. On Monday, the day before the election, of course, guy hit me in the elevator because Wallace was on that night. And did the same thing. And he says, "Hey, I just watched Paulson." He says to watch out for those emotional appeals. He did a big service. I think he talked to a lot of people. A lot of people were impressed at the media. McLuhan said, I don't know if you remember that. McLuhan said that Pat Paulson was probably the most competent candidate as far as the usage of the media and awareness.
I'm sorry to say that there were moments shortly before the election when Pat was looking very good by contrast.
Well, he pulled around 500,000 votes.
Well, that's incredible. I don't know what.
And he didn't even press it.
Didn't ask for a recount or anything.
No, he didn't want to be able to, he didn't want to handle the office. There's a lot of problems in there.
There's a lot of talk today. You and Dick are very popular with young people, and there's a lot of talk today about lowering the voting age to 18. What kind of effect do you think that would have on society? Would they be more liberal, more conservative, or just like their parents?
I don't think it
Or like Joni beating her head against the wall?
What do you think?
I don't think there's anything to vote for. I don't think it matters what age you have people voting.
No, that's where you're wrong.
Smothers' comments reveal a man deeply in tune with the socio-political dynamics of his era, with observations that still reverberate today. His remarks underscore the enduring challenge in politics, ensuring rhetoric matches action, and the ongoing struggle for greater accountability and representation in our democratic process.
You favor dropping out completely? I mean, is that what
No,
you're
I
saying?
favor dropping in.
No, what's going to happen when the voting age is changed is the thing that has happened is the kids now, and if you look at a 14-year-old and in 4 years know that they're going to vote in the next election, the candidates are going to change. The candidates are going to have to change.
Their names are going to change.
Their names are going to change, and what they say is going to change.
What they say is going to change, and what they do is going to remain exactly the same.
No, it's not. It's
How
not
is this
because
one
it
going
was.
to be any different from the last 20?
It was proven
Well,
first
the last
off by
20 included a guy named Kennedy that looked a lot different to me.
No, but McCarthy and also Wallace proved that you can say something, and if you say the truth of what you're really going to do, they're going to vote for you. People are looking for any kind of better truth.
You don't even have to do it, and they'll still vote for you.
Yeah, but Humphrey said nothing. Kennedy got into saying something but didn't. And also Nixon said nothing. I don't think that could ever exist again if the voting age is lowered, because the mass media, they're cynical. They can tell a lie when they see it coming. That's why they say the phrase "say it like it is" important, because people know when it's not like it is, and people say the opposite. They recognize it right away. And if it was enough to even make Eugene McCarthy a candidate, or a valid candidate for president for the Democratic Party, and Wallace became a threat by just saying certain things, you're shaking your head, but you're wrong.
I wasn't shaking, I was just
All right,
sighing.
well, I've got, not to change the subject, but I've got one really serious question that I've got to ask you, because we've been friends for some time, but it's something that's been troubling me. I wonder whether, have you been able to adjust to the fact that your mother loved Dickie more?
You know, I'm going to let you get away with that. No, I think enough of this. It really, she really, you know, she used to be a hooker, man. And, she's so, and whether she liked me or not.
It's clear that Tommy Smothers' insights still carry significant weight. It's fascinating to see how his experiences around censorship and pushing for social causes mirror some of the challenges faced by content creators today. Smothers' words echo the realities of many contemporary artists and creators, proving that being a voice for change is as challenging as it is rewarding. So, what do you think? Have we made strides since Smothers' time? Or are we wrestling with the same issues in a new context? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments below and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'm Kaylee. Thanks for watching. Over and out.